Hey there, welcome back to Pure Mind Think. I'm your host, and today we're diving into something wild, something that's been on my mind lately. Prophecy. Not the vague fortune cookie kind, but the real deal. Stuff that's been written down centuries ago and seems to be unfolding right now, in 2025. Specifically, we're talking about the prophecy of St. Malachy and St. Neilos, two ancient voices that might just be speaking to us today. Stick around because this is going to be a ride. We'll mix some personal stories, a little history, and a big question. Could these prophecies point us towards something greater, like the Creator himself? Hit that subscribe button, grab a coffee, and let's get started.
So let me set the scene for you. It's a cold, nasty day outside, April 2nd, 2025 to be exact, and I'm lounging in this comfy robe, just trying to unwind. I've got hundreds of books stashed around my place. Back room, basement, you name it. Most of them are on these cheapo bookshelves, the kind you'd snag for 20 bucks back in the day. They've been standing there, loaded with books, for over 20 years. Yesterday, I was beat. Totally wiped out. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna make myself a chicken sandwich, kick back, and just chill. Picture this. Me, a plate of beans, that sandwich, and some peace and quiet. Heaven, right?
Well, not for long. I'm about a third of the way through that sandwich when, boom! It sounds like the whole house is caving in. I freeze, mid-bite, thinking, what in the world? Turns out two of those ancient bookshelves just gave up the ghost. About 130 books crashed to the floor, and the noise? It's like an avalanche that won't quit. I knew right away which shelves they were, and my heart sank. See, on those shelves, I had some, let's call them unique items. 2 glass vials of tritium, radioactive stuff, some glowing phosphorus paper I use for reading in the dark, and, get this, vials of liquid mercury. Fragile, dangerous, and definitely not something you want spilling all over your floor.
I drop the sandwich, rush in, and start digging through the mess, expecting the worst. Broken glass, toxic spills, you name it. But here's the crazy part. Not a single vial broke. Not one. I'm standing there, surrounded by this chaos, thinking, how is this even possible? It's like something, or someone, was watching out for me. And that's when I started wondering, maybe there's more to life than just random chance. Maybe there's a flow, a design, something bigger at play.
Oh, and speaking of design, check this out. Someone sent me this golden ratio caliper a while back. Always wanted one. See, this part's always 1 and this part's always 5. No matter how I adjust it, the ratio stays 1.618, the golden ratio. It's this perfect harmony baked into nature, art, everything beautiful. Kinda makes you think about a creator who loves patterns, doesn't it? Anyway, that little miracle with the shelves got me thinking about prophecy, how some people, long ago, seemed to see the patterns of history before they even happened.
Now let's talk prophecy. Not the crystal ball woo-woo stuff. Real prophecy. The kind that's hyper-rational, logical, and honestly, kinda mind-blowing. Think of it like this. Imagine you're standing above a creek, watching the water flow. You can't predict exactly where every leaf will land, but you can see the bends, the rapids, the big turns ahead. That's what prophecy is. Rising above the stream of time and seeing what's coming. And it's not just some spiritual gift. It's a skill. A way of thinking that taps into the natural order of things.
The ancient Greeks, Egyptians, even some early Christians, they got this. The Greek word for prophecy, propheteia, means before telling. It's not magic, it's foresight. The Egyptians had their oracles bathing in sacred pools, amplifying their insight. The Greeks had Delphi, where priestesses would wade into water and speak visions. And here's a cool tidbit. Water's key. Ever notice how you get your best ideas in the shower? There's something about it. Signal gain, like swapping a tiny radio antenna for a big one. More on that later.
But here's the kicker. Prophecy isn't tied to any one religion. It's universal. The people who saw these visions just wrapped them in the language they knew, like a blacksmith using metal metaphors or a fish talking about water. It's all about the lens of their world. And today, we're zooming in on 2 big ones, St. Malachy and St. Neilos. Their words might just be echoing into 2025. And trust me, it's wild.
All right, let's dive into St. Malachy. He's this Irish bishop from the 12th century who supposedly had a vision of every pope, 112 of them, from his time until the end of the world. Each pope gets a little Latin motto, like a cryptic nickname. Some say it's spot on, others call it a 16th century forgery. Me? I don't care if it's from 1140 or 1590, it's still freaky.
Fast forward to today, April 2nd, 2025. The current Pope, Pope Francis, is number 112 on Malachy's list. His motto? Petrus Romanus, Peter the Roman. And get this, as of a few hours ago, he's in critical condition in a hospital. Doctors say he's not expected to make it. Now, I'm no fan of the Catholic Church. Zero love, zero respect, full disclosure. But this isn't about religion. It's about the pattern. Malachy's prophecy says after Peter the Roman, that's it. Game over. And there's this timeline. The middle pope, number 56, was in 1585. Add 422 years from the first pope to the middle, then another 422 from the middle to the end. And you land on 2027, 2 years from now.
Oh, and one more thing. St. Paul's Basilica in Rome? There's a ring of medallions for every pope. Guess what? There's one empty spot left after Francis. Coincidence? Maybe. But it's enough to make you sit up and think. If this holds, something big's coming. And it's not just doom and gloom, it's a wake-up call. Maybe the Creator's been dropping hints all along, nudging us to look up.
Now let's shift gears to St. Neilos, another voice from the past, maybe 4th century, maybe 14th. Doesn't matter. His words hit like a freight train. He said, after 1900, toward the middle of the 20th century, people will become unrecognizable. Sound familiar? He talks about minds clouded by carnal passions, dishonor running wild, and a world so twisted you can't tell men from women. Modesty, gone. Love for parents and elders, vanished. Greed and falsehood, everywhere.
He even says priests and bishops will go vain, chasing the wrong path. And when people cry out for peace and safety, destruction's right around the corner. Look around today. 2025. Division, confusion, people chasing treasure while the world burns. Neilos saw it. And here's the thing. He didn't just predict chaos, he pointed to a bigger story. A story where the Creator's still in control, even when it feels like everything's falling apart, like those bookshelves of mine.
Speaking of falling apart, let's circle back to that water thing. Neilos, the Egyptians, the Greeks, they all knew water amplifies insight. I've got this cheap little radio here. See this tiny antenna? Works okay. Swap it for this bigger one and boom. Clearer signal, farther reach. Same power, better gain. That's what water does for the soul. Ever wonder why the Creator made water so essential? No life without it. No consciousness either. Maybe it's His way of tuning us in, if we just listen.
Okay, let's get deep for a sec. Prophecy works because most people are predictable. Think chess. I was a champ in high school. Big deal, right? The best players see 12, 15 moves ahead. Computers? They see 30, 50, crushing grandmasters like it's nothing. Why? Patterns. If A, then B. If B, then C. Humans are the same. Push this button, they react that way. Most folks don't have real free will, just potential. Like an acorn dreaming of being an oak tree.
But here's the twist. A rare few do have free will. 1 in a million, maybe. They're the oak trees, game changers. The rest of us? Predictable as clockwork. That's why prophecy holds up. It's not magic, it's math. And who set up the equation? The Creator. He's the one who knows every move, every bend in the creek. Malachy and Neilos didn't invent this. They tapped into it. And maybe, just maybe, it's all pointing us back to Him.
Look, I'm not here to scare you. This isn't a "the end is near" rant. It's a wake up and see moment. If Pope Francis passes, and he's the 112th, what's next? 2027's 2 years away. Neilos' world sounds like ours. But here's the hope. The Creator's not done. He's been whispering through history, through guys like Malachy and Neilos saying, I've got this, trust me.
So where does this leave us? Prophecy's real, rational, logical, palpable. St. Malachy's 112th Pope might be on his last breath. St. Neilos' vision looks like our headlines. But this isn't about fear, it's about faith. The Creator who made the golden ratio, who kept those vials from breaking in my house, who gave us water to live and think. He's still here.
I don't buy into religion for religion's sake. Never have. But I do believe in a creator who's bigger than all this chaos. Malachy and Neilos saw through their lenses, Catholicism, whatever, but the truth underneath? It's universal. It's about a God who sees the end from the beginning, who invites us to rise above the stream and trust him.
So here's my challenge. Don't just take my word for it. Look at the world. Look at the patterns. Ask yourself, could there be a creator behind it all? I think there is. And if 2027 rolls around and these prophecies hit, I'll be here, sandwich in hand, saying, told you so. But until then, let's keep seeking, keep thinking pure thoughts, and keep the faith.
Thanks for hanging out with me on this one. If you liked this, smash that like button, subscribe to Pure Mind Think, and drop a comment. What do you think about Malachy and Neilos? Prophecy real or not? Oh, and check the description for some free articles on Substack if you want to dig deeper. Donations always welcome. Keeps the lights on. Until next time, stay curious, and may the Creator guide your path. Lux Veritas. Thank you.